rice,
Ghana.
have you seen your rice? It's
No.
here, if you ask you are going here, they will show you.
You can't go out by 2 a.m, my sister. I'm a living witness. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Dr. Zane, and on this channel I react to videos that interest me. So if that sounds like your thing, please make sure you subscribe right now and give this video a big thumbs up, because I know you're going to enjoy it. This is when Nigerians and Ghanaians see eye to eye. Honestly, I do not think, even without watching the video, I do not think Nigerians and Ghanaians can ever see eye to eye. Again, we love one another. We love one another. I'm Nigerian. I love Ghanaians. Like, I feel like they're my cousins. Like, we're basically cousins. Like, Nigerians and Ghanaians are basically cousins, and we have a lot of family members from on both sides. Like, Ghanaians have family members in Nigeria who are from Nigeria, who are actually Nigerians, and Nigerians have family members who are actually Ghanaians, right? So I think it's that whole pseudo family feud thing that is born of love. And at this point has just escalated to what it is. But when they say Nigerians and Ghanaians, I don't know what they're going to talk about here, but I feel like they're going to talk about some of the beefs that Nigerians and Ghanaians have, and they're going to try to settle it once and for all.
Why are we fighting over rice? Like, why? It's unnecessary.
Okay, Nigerians, Ghanaians face to face.
Nigeria is the giant of Africa.
Nigeria is the biggest in all things. Though our leaders are bad, that's the only place I'll say that Nigeria is lacking behind. But in our economy, we have the best opportunities. Art, music, movies, just name it, everything. Nigeria is better.
Since independence, I believe Nigeria has been leading in music. We still have the likes of King Sunny Ade, late Fela Nicola Pokuti, and so on. And right now, what Burna Boy and Davido and Wizkid and Tiwa Savage and Era Star, and I think Thames, what they are doing at the world stage is beyond even them.
Nigeria is a giant of Africa. We have the largest population. The people are also very, 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 very industrious. What makes them a giant is the role they play to the other African countries.
True.
Nigeria has harbored a lot of Africans. I'm a Ghanaian. In 1981, when J.J. Rawlings came into power, by that misrule, a lot of Ghanaians had to leave the country. They had nowhere to go. It's Nigeria they kept.
True.
When it comes to industry, when Nigeria sneezes, West Africa shivers. But I don't agree that the Nigerian leaders are bad. When you ask a Nigerian, what's your problem? You say, our leader. How many Nigeria here will knock somebody in the night with a car and will say, I've knocked somebody? How many of them will reach a traffic light? It's red. And they will wait for it to be green. You don't want to obey law. You lost your humanity. You're looking for a leader. It is Nigerians that will build Nigeria, not the leaders. If footballers are choosing a leader, a captain, the captain must be a footballer. So if the team is good, the captain will perform. But Nigerians believe that go and vote and choose leaders and blame them. That's not how to build a country.
Can the disagreeers now speak?
The truth is, what he said is not a lie. That is not a lie. No shade or anything, but that's not a lie. But I also think that because of, look, things have effects, okay? And if you have bad leaders and you've got a lot of corruption in a place for so long, because of corruption, people at some point begin to believe that there's no rule, there's no law, there's nothing you can do that is really an offense as long as you're able to pay. That's one of the effects of corruption, which actually does happen. I mean, I know it happens in other parts of the world too, but we're talking about Nigeria here. If you start believing that if you're able to make money and pay your way through school, you pay your way to get a job, pay your way to get the best positions at work, pay your children's way to do well in school, in some specific schools, as if at some point it won't come out. It always comes out in the end. But if you believe that, then you also train your children to believe that there's nothing they can do that will be wrong, as long as you'll be able to pay somebody in power. You can pay the police officer, you can pay the judge, and your child won't have to pay for their crimes. Then those children will grow up with that same mindset, and they will teach it to their next generation. Now, those children are the same ones that will become the next leaders. But at the same time, those children some of them are the ones that also travel to other countries with that same mentality that they've already had. And then they'll go to other countries and they won't think about paying for their crimes. If you hit somebody, you should be able to own up if you're an honest person and say, this was a mistake, I hit somebody, I'm going to try to take them to the hospital. If they lost their lives, God forbid, then I'm going to know, I have to know that even though it was an accident, I still have to, submit myself and say the truth and say this is what happened, right? And not be a criminal. But again, I'm not saying that leaders are 100% but they are the only reason for people misbehaving like that in diaspora especially. But I'm saying that this corruption and the effects of corruption, the effects accrue over time. And by the time it's starting from point A, you will not be able to recognize it by the time it gets to point Z, because it would have morphed into different forms by the time it gets to that last point. And that last point, you will not be able to link it back to the leaders that started the corruption in the first place. You won't even be able to link it back to the people who put those leaders in place when they came and said, okay, we're leaving, we're going to put you people in charge. You won't be able to link it back to them because it just seems like, Z is independent of point A, but that's not true. They are all linked. So again, I'm not going to say the man is 100% correct, and I'm not going to say he's 100% wrong. He's not wrong at all, but there are just other factors that he needs to consider, because corruption, it all starts with the corrupt leaders at the end of the day. If you put it in power and your primary objective is to accrue as much money as you can and put in offshore accounts in Switzerland, then what exactly are you trying to do? What do you think you're trying to do there? And you think that won't affect the people around you so that they can also start, collecting as much money, stealing as much money as they can? And you think that won't affect the country such that the roads will be bad because you're not giving contractors what they require to be able to do good roads? And because the contractors need the money, they'll collect whatever you give them and do substandard work. And you think that won't affect the industrial system or the system of the industry? It won't affect different ministries. It won't affect the economy. It won't affect the mentality of people. You think it won't? It will always affect that. Like everything, every action you do has consequences, and those consequences sometimes will not be limited to just that sphere, but they always have domino effects. So
it's a good country, but saying it's giant, how can we define giants with darkness? Do you see how noisy the generators are? How can you define giant with insecurity? Come on. If you're talking about music, if you're talking about movie industry, we give you said your country is giant, but the presidents, but the leaders, so that bats make you not a giant.
Insecurity. You can't go out by 2 a.m. in Nigeria. You get kidnapped or raped.
Actually,
when there is no security in the country, then
that's the truth. What
is not the purpose of saying that the country is the giant of Africa? You say you are the giant of Africa. You're an example to.
Please, you can't go out 2 a.m. in Nigeria. As at 2 years before now, yes, there's insecurity, but 2 years ago, 1 year ago, I would have said yes, she's correct. But recently, a few months ago, I was actually out in the midnight, 12 midnight, 1 a.m. Don't ask me what I was doing. 12 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m. I actually stayed in a place from like 2:30 a.m. till like 4:30 a.m., 5:30 a.m. and I was not harassed by one person. And the majority of people around me were guys. And I'm not talking about like regular educated guys. I'm not talking about maybe a controlled area, like maybe a hotel or maybe a conference center or maybe for a function. No. I'm talking about out in the open. And these men were all sorts of men, uneducated people, unruly people, people who, when morning came, some of them were actually trying to look for methane gas. If you understand what I'm saying, you understand what I'm saying. They were actually looking for methane gas to sniff in the morning. And the innocent me, I was actually thinking the poor guy had a cough. But he wasn't having a cough. It wasn't a severe cough. He was sniffing something. And that was making him choke. And he was doing deliberately. It took me months to realize that when I was thinking about that scenario again. So and thank God I wasn't attacked, I wasn't raped, I wasn't kidnapped or anything. Again, yes, there's insecurity in some places, but I think that those instances have been vastly exaggerated by a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. Come on, you can't go out by 2 a.m., my sister. I'm a living witness.
The other African countries, and there's no security in the country, and you people are boasting. There is nothing to boast about it. You people are not giants, they are ants of Africa. Let's see.
Okay,
Ants.
according to what you said, there's no perfect country in the world. When it comes to insecurity, the best countries in the world, America has insecurity. People carry guns, enter schools, kill children.
And kill children. They go in the market and kill children. Like, yo, no shade on America. We love them and all of that. But, like, the place just scares me. Like, it really scares me because every so often you hear somebody, an axe murderer or like a serial killer, and he killed 46 people and he cut them into pieces and he buried them in his backyard. And that's minus people who carry guns and go into a school and kill poor children. Or they go into a mosque and they just shoot people. Like, it's everywhere. Insecurity is everywhere. There are crazy people everywhere. So please don't come and say...
There are places where there are insecurities. Some places are free too. Yeah, I'm an artist. I go out at night.
See?
Free.
Freely.
My name is Brain. I'm an artist and a fitness trainer. I'm Nigerian. In some ways, they were not being sincere.
No, it's just, I think it's not that they were not trying to be sincere. Of course, there's some part of it that is true to wanting to throw shade on Nigeria because, beef. But another part is that they are saying these things because these are the things that they've heard from people that have been vastly over-exaggerated for so long. So everybody believes it. Insecurity in Nigeria, you get kidnapped, you get raped. Come on.
Make Ghana look better. Of course, every country has their shortcomings. Right, yeah. But that does not take away the fact that Nigeria is still the giant of Africa.
I'm practically a night crawler. Lagos operates 24/7 round the clock. No, 24/7 round the clock. And
that's the truth.
That 2 o'clock you mentioned, life has just started.
You're talking about Lagos. What about other states?
The state I mentioned where I was out at 12 midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. till 5:30 a.m. outside in the open was not Lagos. It was not Lagos. It wasn't Abuja. It wasn't a major city. So, yeah. Maybe it's not all the states.
It's not only Lagos that makes Nigeria. Up Nigeria. There are other states.
So what are you still doing in Nigeria? Why you know that Nigeria is
an ant? Thank you.
Don't worry, we'll come back to that.
If Nigeria is such an ant.
Yeah.
If you've been to other African countries, to God, Nigeria never starts.
Thank you.
Why me I think Nigeria is a giant is the vibrancy of the people to face all these odds they are facing.
Thank you.
That makes them a giant to me.
Thank you.
200 billion, even Naira, moves from British economy. British economy will totter. Hey, one person, they say, social woman carry 250 billion. Nigerians will say, we are moving. The money
we are moving.
Is getting missing through corruption.
We are moving. This man is saying the truth, and that's why people are getting tired and they're getting angry, and that's why everybody's protesting. By the way, shout out to Nigerians. You guys, I just have to say it here because we're talking about this now, and this currently the whole protesting and all that. Protest by all means. Even me, I deal with honor in the spirit, but if you burn stuff, because I saw them, they were burning stuff and all that. I don't know what they were burning. Maybe it was just tires, just to create a whole thing. But if you burn stuff, if you destroy things, now on our money, they will still use rebuild those things where on our bone. In fact, when they rebuild it will come fine past the way it did before. Now down, they will come use that opportunity, fap more money from on her. She even now talk say now not get sense. What I just said basically to those who do not understand pidgin is that Nigerians can protest. I'm with them in the spirits. And B, if they burn stuff and they destroy things, it is their money, our money, that those people will take and use to rebuild those things. And they will make them finer than they were before they were burnt. And they will use that opportunity to embezzle more money. So let us apply.
And even down.
But please carry on.
If you move from Ghana, they will clean Ghana from world map.
Why are you lying?
I'm not lying.
Why are you lying?
This woman is paying.
Said the same thing.
ECOWAS headquarters is built here. And Nigeria contributes the biggest money to ECOWAS. It's a big brother.
The economy is what makes you a
when
big brother. That's the
Babangida
truth.
gave Ghana
Nothing
about
else. It's just the
6
economy.
fighter jets as a big brother. The fact that he had oil money, by that wealth, Nigeria became a giant.
Magana and Jarichi, as the Hausas say, that's the end of that discussion.
My
the
name
man
is
has ended the
Okulata
conversation.
from home, but my pseudonym is Teacher Asante. I'm a teacher, English teacher. I'm an artist. I'm a writer, and then child and woman activist. I was in Ghana. I came here, and I came in exile. I had to stay here almost 15 years. So after my exile was over, because they changed the government there, I went back. I was not feeling comfortable there, so I came back here, and I made here my home.
The love war is unnecessary.
The love war is fun. It's for vibes, as far as I'm concerned. It's all vibes. So necessary or unnecessary?
It is not necessary because Nigeria produces the best jollof in the whole world. I've been to so many countries of the world. Nigerian food mainly dominates the big parties. If I'm going to be narrow-minded now, Ghana doesn't even have food. So I've been there and I'm still, so it's not necessary.
Coming from someone who said he lives in Lagos, so he's talking about just Lagos. How long have you been in Ghana? Probably visited Accra or Kumasi. But do you know how many tribes we have? These regions have their own local delicacies. We have a lot of food. You don't know, you don't know.
Why you look at Nigerian pounded yam with a porridge?
We have pounded yam. We have pounded plantain.
I think the war is unnecessary because, first off, jollof rice is not a Nigerian, Ghanaian, anybody's thing.
Don't bring up that argument. It annoys me when people bring up the argument. The fact that something doesn't originate from you doesn't mean that you cannot make it better and make it even better than, like, the fact that, I don't know if this analogy is going to be a good one because I'm horrible with analogies, thank God. But a chef comes up with a recipe. It doesn't mean that another chef cannot take that recipe and improve it and make it even better than the first chef's recipe. Does that make sense? So that's not even an argument. They say, oh, jollof rice. Why is Nigeria and Ghana fighting over jollof rice? It's not a Nigerian thing. It's not a Ghanaian thing. It originates from Senegal. So therefore, Senegal. No. That's not an argument. What is better is better. I'm not saying anyone is better. I'm not saying Senegalese jollof is better. I'm not saying, because honestly, I haven't tasted Ghanaian jollof or Senegalese jollof. I do plan to taste it in the nearest future, hopefully, but. So I'm not going to, if I haven't tasted it, I can't come out and say, oh, this is better, that's better. And the people who have been telling me that Nigerian jollof is the best, they went to Ghana, when they came back, they were like, their jollof is the worst. Like, it tastes dry, No shade on Ghana, but that's what people told me. I feel like maybe they're, like at first, the first person who told me, I believed it. I was like, their jollof is bad. She was like, yeah, the fried rice is actually good, that she loves their fried rice, Ghanaian fried rice, but jollof rice is just whack. I believed it then, but then when I kept hearing and I realized that it was a whole thing between Nigeria and Ghana, I was like, okay, so maybe it's the bias. Maybe somebody already told her before she went to Ghana that the Ghanaian jollof is bad. And so she just approached their rice with that bias. And maybe that influenced, her taste buds. Who knows? Or maybe, she just wants that sense of loyalty. Even if somebody hadn't told her before, that sense of loyalty she has to Nigeria made her feel like Nigerian jollof is definitely better than Ghana jollof. I don't know, but I haven't tasted it, so I cannot say one person's jollof is better than. But nobody should bring up the argument. I'm tired of that argument that, oh, it comes from Senegal. Okay, so if it comes from Senegal and you're saying Senegalese jollof is better just because it comes from them, please don't.
It is not for any of us.
Exactly.
We just made adaptations of whatever the original recipes, and everybody's just making theirs. It is generally a West African food.
Mm-hmm.
It is even more for Senegal than it is for Ghana or even for Nigerians. Everybody has what they prefer.
True.
Ghanaian jollof rice has the type of spices that they like to cook it with. Nigerian jollof rice has the type of spices that they cook it with. So I don't believe that anybody should be fighting.
Sorry, do Nigerians put spices in their jollof?
Shade!
Oh.
This woman is, she loves throwing shade. Oh my God.
Why
She was the same person.
Rice.
She was the same person who said that how can you call a giant how can you call Nigeria a giant with all darkness? That do you hear the sound of generators? Like, hey, this shade.
Like, why? It's unnecessary.
Why?
Eat what you like. Yes. If you like Nigerian rice, eat it. If you like Ghanaian rice, eat it. Why are we arguing what's best?
Of us.
It's just food.
I don't know why you will see something white and you still want to argue about it. All of us here, perfume and no perfume, what would you take?
Are we talking about rice?
I'm talking about how you smell.
Of course, perfume.
Perfume.
and we use perfumed rice. You guys, have you seen your rice? It's
No.
it's shots.
Wait, what does the shortness of the rice have to do with anything? Are you talking about long grain rice and short grain rice here? Because honestly, to me, I don't see the difference. I genuinely do not. I don't understand why some people go crazy over long grain and some people go crazy over short grain. But what does short grain have to do with how sweet the jollof is or how white it is, or like, I don't understand.
She will actually taste a proper Ghana jollof.
Have you ever tasted
a proper Nigerian jollof?
I've been here for like months. They don't put spices in the food. No pepper. I don't feel it.
Does not know how to cook.
Come on, at all the restaurants.
It could be your bias talking. It could be your bias influencing your taste buds.
Food as a topic is heaven. It creates room for conversation. This time, between Ghana and Nigeria, we need the two countries to come together. And no topic can be better than food. But I disagree with you when I say Ghana doesn't have food. In fact, the country that doesn't have food in Africa is Nigeria. Since when rice became the food of Nigeria?
Nigeria, in the whole of Africa, Nigeria is the country that doesn't have food. What is this?
All Nigeria knows is amala, ewedu, egusi, ogbono, pounded yam. When the rice come into Nigeria,
okay. The fact that rice came into Nigeria relatively doesn't mean Nigeria doesn't have food. The food you mentioned are just like 5 or 6 foods among, like, let's not even talk about anything. If you say Nigeria doesn't have food, just go to the Hausa tribe and check the amount of food they have. Like, we have several tribes in Nigeria. Just like that lady said, we have several tribes in Ghana, and each of them have their local delicacies. Just like that in Nigeria, we have several tribes, like several tribes, and they all have their local delicacies. And I realized that there are some tribes that cook their jollof rice differently from the regular jollof rice that we see. And that's, okay, let's not even talk about rice. Let's just talk about the soups, like the different kinds of soups we have. Go to the Igbo tribe alone and see, like, the kinds of their cuisine. Like, if you just look at Igbo cuisine, you will surrender, because, like, let's not even go into it. But just go to Hausa and check their cuisine. Go to, like, the Calabar people and food. Like, don't even, like, if you're talking about food, don't even dare go to the Calabar people. Like, don't come at them, because they will disgrace you. Okay, so nobody should say, oh, Nigeria doesn't have food because we've not been eating rice. And then you mention like 5 or 6 foods from among the foods that the Yoruba people have. And maybe it's because I'm used to being around the Yoruba people. I feel like sometimes Yoruba people don't really have food, but there are some tribes in Nigeria, and these are all parts of Nigeria, that they really have food. Like, they really, really have food. Even things that you would not consider as food, they really have food. So let's not go there.
Here for 40
and the man has been, you've been here for 40 years.
Eat rice only on occasions. The only area I'll give to Nigeria, Ghanaians don't eat vegetables much.
We don't eat it much.
We are only eating cocoyam leaf. Ugu is Nigeria's gift for the world. That one I agree.
Though I've never been to Ghana, but I just feel they should start eating good food, because good food is good for the body.
Oh my God, this one is funny. After everything they said about how Ghana has one of the best cuisines, how Nigeria doesn't have good food, it's as if all of that did not even enter this man's mind. He's just coming here to say Ghana should start eating good food. They already made their arguments and they said Ghana has food. Like, the woman already said many tribes have their local delicacies. So I don't understand.
Every time all I see on the net and physically is all this cassava food with raw pepper, raw tomatoes, raw onions, raw vegetable, and I'm like, don't these people have good food?
Oh my God.
Ghana has a better living environment than Nigeria.
This is facts. If you are denying facts, I don't know, then you don't want to go to heaven. You don't believe in God if you don't.
No. You know what is happening? Somebody went to Ghana, and then they are climbing to the top of the hotel. He said, I didn't lock my car. They say, calm down, you are in Ghana, calm down.
You are in Ghana, you are safe.
Nigeria economically is ahead, but it is underdeveloped sociologically.
Well, there are links, aren't they?
White man left Nigeria. Nigeria big men moved into white man's apartments after living as white man. They were far from the people. and they were the educated elites. So
I
how
agree with
can
you.
they develop a sociology they are not part of?
Yeah, yeah.
Ghana leaders live with the people.
The first time I came to Nigeria, they stole my phone. First time, I went back to my country, came again, finished school in December. They stole my phone again.
You were careless, man.
No.
You need to be street smart in Nigeria.
I never thought that people take phones. Ghana is one of the safest African countries, not West Africa, the safest African countries you would ever.
I don't know.
Clap for yourself.
I don't know. Who said it?
We're happy for you, honestly, but then you cannot say that the crime rate in your country is not on the high side.
Because
when
we've
you
been
come to
hearing
Nigeria,
stuff.
you say that they still.
We've been hearing stuff. I don't want to throw shade here. Like, I don't want to say some things that I didn't really. All we're saying here is all for vibes. The stuff they are doing is all for vibes. But we've been hearing some stuff too. Again, we can't say it here, but we've been hearing some stuff about Ghana. We've been hearing stuff. So let's not even. And I would think that even when we're talking about like safest African countries and all of that, I would think maybe South Africa, Kenya, those rates higher on the scale. Like Namibia, we don't hear a lot of stuff from Namibia. Like there are places like Swaziland and all of that. Like, I mean, from stuff that I'm hearing, I would think all those places are
I'm
safer
sure there
than
are
Ghana.
places in Ghana that you would go to and your
Your
kids
things
will
will
get missing.
exactly. Anywhere.
I don't care.
I don't care where it is, whether it's Zongo or not Zongo. I don't care as long as it's in Ghana. I've only heard like of places like New York. Like if you like if you go to New York and you hold your bag a certain way, just forget about the bag. Some places in New York, like again, I don't know if that's true or not, but we've been hearing stuff. So I mean, nowhere in the world is 100% safe.
Yes, it is. There are places in Nigeria, in Lagos here, where you would not find things like that.
Yes.
As of now, we have 20 million Nigerians in Ghana. They
20
are
million.
more than the Ashantis, the biggest tribe
That's
in Ghana.
horrible.
And as the
I
more
know
they
it's
go, the
horrible,
more
but-
the crime rate is up.
So I've been to Ghana once.
Wow.
Didn't
20
stay for too
million.
long, but I enjoyed it. The standard of living was just good. So yeah.
Can the disagreeer now speak?
Okay, I totally disagree because now what's the population of Ghana? When you get to Banana Island, for instance, you will not say Banana Island is dirty.
And there are
When you get
Nigerians
to
there.
Maitama in Abuja, you will
You
not
not
say it's dirty.
dirty. True.
When you
Very
get to
true.
Omole Phase 2 in Lagos, or Magodo Phase 1 or Magodo Phase
Yes,
2,
or Asokoro.
or GRA Ikeja,
Yes.
you will not say it's
You
dirty.
won't, yes.
So where am I going now? The budget for the cleaning of Ghana
Is it what the
what
budget
the local government
of the local government in Nigeria?
Take their money
to
from
clean
UK.
the whole of Ghana is
What Lagos State will use to clean only Lagos
what
State.
they will use in a month, Lagos will use it in 2 weeks.
To
So
clean
I shall
only
not say
maybe
Lagos
Ikeja.
is not too, sorry, Nigeria is not too clean.
You have
It's
to
because
look
we are
at-
big and we'll
yes.
get there.
To him,
Yes.
much is given,
Much
Much
is
is
expected.
much is expected.
Yes.
Yeah,
The examples you gave
yeah.
falls from what you call fallacy of unrelated model.
How do you? I attended
I'm going to
evening
break it
school,
down
so
for you.
break it down. What is fallacy?
The fallacy is you are now quoting estates, private homes.
For the higher
No,
minds.
No, he did not quote only estates. He quoted some estates like Maitama, but he did not. Come on, he's not quoting only estates. He quoted some other places that aren't estates.
That is where you fall.
Not private homes. No.
Yeah.
There's no way you see somebody squatting on the bridge shitting in Ghana. And then when you watch
don't do
Ghana
that
films,
here.
wait now. When you watch Ghana films, watch the street. You can't drop your water. It's like Calabar, at least some part of Nigeria.
Oh, no, you
I am
haven't mentioned
coming.
Calabar.
No, Nigeria generally. You see somebody come from Jeep, he bring his brake out, he's pissing in the street. It can't happen in Ghana at all. 4.
I agree
You
with you.
can ask for your direction in Ghana without problem. But here, if you ask you are going here, they will show you. 5. Somebody went to Ghana and goes one way. It is civilians that stopped him. Why are you going one way? He said, hey, you're going here now. He said, wait. It's them that call police for him. The sociology is developed. So the conditions are better.
I personally have not been to Ghana, but I have friends that have been to Ghana, and they always have, like, you know, good, like, in comparison to how things are in Nigeria, they always have better things to say about Ghana than...
And I've actually heard about, like, the one thing that comes to mind, really, is the one where they, in some places, like, at least the pictures that I saw, in that neighborhood, they did not have high fences with like barbed wires on their fences the way we have in many like compounds here in Nigeria. Because of security, obviously, they did not have high fences. They did not have barbed wires. Here we also have compounds that do not use high fences, of course, but many of them use barbed wires, except if you're in certain like communities that aren't well developed. If you're talking about the major cities, many of them need to have like barbed wires or electrocuted wires on top just to prevent intruders from coming in. And they also said that they did not like in that that neighborhood, they did not have bars on their windows, like burglar-proof bars, the way we have to have here in Nigeria in many like developed cities. So that's something that comes to mind when we talk about
apart from that,
what I've heard.
The living here is very hostile. Me, sometimes I take public transport when I'm going for jobs, save money. Now, if I take a public transport in Ghana, it's smooth. Mates, we call our conductor mates. So mates, you give your money, you will get here. You see in Niger, after Aja, you'll be thinking about yourself in the public bus. Then you see all those guys, Agro. Give
us money.
Really?
They are attacking the driver. And if the driver doesn't stop, they try to bang the door. Like, if I'm lying.
You're not lying.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And it's not once, it's not
that must be
going along
Lagos.
the road. Just be ready to face an agbero. Some drivers here are very, very hostile. I don't know whether they are depressed or it's a normal way of
they're just tired.
They don't know how to talk nicely. You can see a Lagos driver driving.
I knew it's Lagos.
Yeah.
And
I knew
you drink.
Those people are
See
different
people on the street smoking cigarettes. Come on, cigarette is normal.
As
you have to do it when you are
Nigerians
working.
that go to Ghana, whether you can light Indian hemp and walk in the street in Ghana.
You'll be
Try it
arrested.
in Ghana.
You see why I should visit Ghana?
The great fella was put himself for 1 week. It took international to bring him out.
For smoking Indian hemp.
They might not be there yet, but at least they are trying.
So this man finally gave them.
Using this opportunity to tell our leaders too that a clean environment is desirable and that security is the ultimate if they are really looking for investors.
100%.
If Ghana had the resources Nigeria have, they will do better.
Maybe not.
Well, I agree that if Ghana had the resources Nigeria has now, they will do better. It's because even with the little they have, they are doing better than Nigeria. So how much more they now have what Nigeria has?
That doesn't always follow.
They'll be competing with UK.
That doesn't always follow.
One small boy followed Papa to Kutuka International Airport. He said, Daddy, are we in London? And then here, a small boy is here, and then he saw the moon. Then he said, Daddy, Nepa.
This Ghana Nigerian story. This is not serious.
And then Ghana, the people believe in the traditional institutions, and the politicians listen to their chiefs. So you can't mess up with our resources. Everybody is holding biro in Ghana.
If we have what Nigerians have, we will be more. We will do better. We will do great. I left my country where there is 24/7 lights.
Lies.
As black woman, when I walk, my body shakes. But see, I've shrinked because I have to come to school here because the movie industry here is doing better because the actresses, they are producing. Actors are producing.
Money is here.
We don't have that. If we had that in my country, I would have been a star by now.
So basically, when you guys are
My name
beefing,
is Aisha Abubakar.
when
I'm an
Ghanaians are beefing
actress.
Nigerians, what you are trying to say is that you are basically jealous. I think you just gave us the entire, the what's beneath everything, what's behind the entire beef is that you guys are jealous of Nigeria. Is that it? I don't get it.
Well, I've been in Nigeria now roughly for a year. I came to Nigeria because of the movie industry and enrolled in a film school. And since then, I've been working. And I really hope and wish I succeed.
Can the disagreeers now speak?
I believe that the corruption that we have in Nigeria is also present in Ghana. If
Exactly.
Ghana has access to the type of resources that Nigerians have,
They will also become corrupt.
if they get hold of the type of resources that
Because
Nigerians have, trust me, they are going to do a lot worse than what Nigeria is currently
That's
doing.
what always happens. You know, I said at the beginning that it doesn't follow.
I believe
It doesn't always work that way. Human beings are not like, it's not a binary system. It's not a whole, all this philosophy and logic problems, like if X then Y, if 2X then 2Y. Like that's not the way human beings behave. Human beings are predictably unpredictable. You say you don't have as much as Nigeria is doing, yet you are doing better. You are doing great now, not better, you are doing great now. So if you have as much as Nigeria has, you definitely do better than Nigeria. Not quite, because if you have that kind of resources under your belt, then tell me you will not become corrupted. You will not become tempted by just what is within reach. And you will not go mad the way some of our leaders have gone mad, right? Like, I would be the first to admit that some of our leaders have gone quite mad, okay? If you get voted into power by the people you promised to fix their water and their roads, and when you get voted into power, you try to steal as much money as you can, and instead of doing the roads you promised them, you think of going to buy houses in Canada for each of your children and their children after them. That is your goal before you get voted out of office or before your tenure expires. If that's your goal, and if your goal is to take as much money as you can and buy an entire street in London, that is your goal, then you must be completely mad.
They are doing so much better because
again,
they have access. The
funds are limited, so people can count, right? And you will not really be tempted because you don't really have.
Did then, as a head of state, they've messed up everything. No, it's my turn to talk. Papa, put down your hand. As PHCN is, do you know we give Ghana light?
No. We don't have light.
No. They complain.
What do you mean?
NNPC is rubbish.
No.
Truly NNPC, they are not doing well. In spite of that, either directly or indirectly, Ghana, maybe 20, 30, 40% of their oil is from Nigeria.
Have you finished?
I'm not finished. So you are now saying they will do well. I'm still repeating it. You see, you only steal what you are exposed to.
I'm hearing they say Nigeria is giving Ghana light.
I've been hearing that too. I don't know how
for a long time. Nigeria has been supplying Ghana fuel, petrol, until Ghana discovered a little. And when it comes to gas, Nigeria supply Ghana gas. But when it comes to light, Ghana is working hard to make sure there's always light. If you say Nigeria is giving Ghana light, it's like you lizard promising somebody a suit. This is a country 10 years no light off. Ghana has the biggest man-made dam in the world, Akosombo. Three turbines are even unused. You said Rollins shoe is crying.
It's crying the grave.
That information that has been pending in Nigeria is a very serious symptom of lack of information in the country. It has contributed to a lot of Nigeria backwardness. When did J.J. Rollins take over power in Ghana? 1979. When the Ghanaians flooded this country, 81, 82, 83, who drove them here?
Really?
That is number one for you. Nigerians believed that Ghana was corrupt. J.J. Rollins came to kill the bad men, and then Ghana became all right.
Yeah, that's what they tell us.
The biggest misinformation in the annals of West African history. Ask me why.
Why?
One, Ghana doesn't even have that money for anybody to steal, to become corrupt like Nigeria. One. Two, those men they killed, for your information, house they didn't have. The 7 generals they shot.
They were
soldiers.
soldiers.
They didn't have. None of them ever took their children to Europe to go to school. All their children were in Ghana schools, government schools. Free. They gave us free education. I am a beneficiary. Quality education, free. They give us health, free. J.J. Rollins came and condemned all.
So then why do they tell us the story about how J.J. Rollins was this messiah in Ghana and how Ghana was horrible before he came and how when he got there everything became better? Like, why do they tell us why is that the story we hear in Nigeria? Like, I don't get it.
He was the 6th richest man in Ghana. Where did he get the money? When Rollins was leaving Ghana, how much was CD to dollar? 1 million CD to $100. How did he improve our economy? So it's a misinformation because Nigerians are looking for someone to come and kill their big man. They heard that Rollins killed big men. Rollins is their hero. We are the facts. Don't go there.
Okay.
Nigeria
So somebody
and
got
Ghana
schooled
has more
today.
similarities than differences.
We have a lot of things in common, even though we disagree in a few other things. We always consume stuff from each other. So I think we have more similarities than differences.
And then the two countries were colonized by the same colonialist, Britain. So we speak the same English. That's why a Ghanaian find it hard to run to Nigeria, and Nigerian find it easier to run to Nigeria, and Nigeria find it easier to run to Ghana. I think you understand. And when you take the music, the high life, if you listen to the Igbo music, the instruments is similar, only the wordings, that the language changes. We have music, high life, dancing, and recently Nigerians are also influencing Ghana.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So the similarities are getting closer. Before, if somebody dies in Ghana, and they not bury the person, nobody will eat. Nigeria here, if somebody dies, it's party.
It's a party.
Somebody
It's a party, I'm
party.
telling you.
Somebody
It's a party.
It's party.
It's a
That
party.
culture, Ghanaians are picking it.
Oh.
For me, I can say the
that's
same.
interesting.
The only thing is that Niger guys, they don't like going out on dates. They like sleeping in hotels.
Huh?
Apart from that, I think the love is mutual. The women love the Niger men, and the Niger men love. I don't know if they think they are easy.
No, they don't think they are easy. They love the
They are
look.
very accommodating. Nigerian.
No, they love the look. Because I've heard like some Nigerian guys that went to Ghana. I don't know if it's all of them, but went to Ghana, came back with same set of people were telling me about the Ghanaian, the jollof and all, and the fried rice and all of that. But the same people were telling me that the women in Ghana, I mean, their ears are something to behold. Like this was the same people telling me, and the shade of their skin. Obviously, different people in different countries come with different all shades, right? But they were telling me about the darkness is a unique shade of darkness from Ghana. And they were also mentioned, but they emphasize the area in particular. So I think that's what.
These are very nice people because with all the hardships in this country, I don't think I would have been able to stay a day if I didn't meet good Nigerian. Thank you, Nigeria. Like, I so much appreciate just the people. Just the people.
That's appreciated.
First thing you're saying about Nigeria. Nice.
Can the disagreeer now speak?
What is God? It's God. It's not God.
Oh, this man has come with the language.
We are not abroad.
In Ghana, when it comes to English, we have a teacher teaching mechanical grammar and a teacher teaching textual grammar.
So is that why you call God God?
Yes, because a language, good English must be spoken with original dialect. Anywhere I speak, the first question they will ask you, a Ghanaian, Abi, a Nigerian brand of English and a Ghanaian brand of, none is better than each other.
Okay.
But the problem is that the exams, O level, they don't use the Nigerian dialect to do exams. So our children here are failing. Because if you say H-O-T, Nigeria will say hot. H-U-T, he will say hot. H-U-R-U-T, he will say hot. So if he goes to exam, he will fail.
This is so true. I'm throwing shade on my own country, but this is so true. Like this is so true, so true. Oh my God.
H-O-T, Nigeria will say hot. H-U-T, he will say hot. H-U-R-U-T, he will say hot.
Tell us what
so if he goes to exam, he will fail.
Those three examples.
O in the middle of two consonants is O. U in the middle of two consonants is A. U-R in the middle of two consonants is E. So it is church.
Church. Me, I'm going to church. Me, I'm going to church.
Which is the Nigerian dialect.
At the end of the day,
oh my God, you're going to church. Me, I'm going to church.
To it because I just felt in terms of linguistics, if I'm God and somebody is calling me God, if he or she is praying to me, I will not listen because I just assume he's talking to a different person. And in terms of rivalry or whatever, that I feel we have a lot of things to gain if we work in unity.
We have come to the end of today's show.
You know, I said at the beginning, the beef can never end. That beef will always be there, but it's a beef born more of love and, just fondness, because we just have a kind of fondness, like a familial fondness with each other. So that's why the beef is there. It will forever be there as far as I'm concerned. It's all vibes, it's all cruise. Again, no matter what I said in this video, please, I'm not throwing shades at America or Ghana or any other country in the world. Please, I love everybody. Everybody's cool. As long as you don't come and you hurt me, we are cool, okay? I don't carry negativity with me. Negativity is too difficult. It's too heavy a burden to carry. Thank you guys so much for watching this video with me till the very end. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you've not subscribed yet, please make sure you subscribe. But right now, give this video a big thumbs up, and I will see you next time.